Ooh, welcome back to a spooky episode of Building for the Factions. Today we're building for the Mourn Watch, the day before Halloween. Would have been great to be able to use a Life and Death expansion for this build, but it doesn't come out until tomorrow, and tomorrow is Dragon Age Day, so sorry Sims, you're gonna have to take a backseat. But for today, we are building a house for the Mourn Watch in The Sims 4. I'm thinking we're gonna go more in the, since this is obviously a necromancer faction, this definitely has to be some kind of mausoleum, cemetery, something along those lines. I did a little bit of research on Navarra itself and kind of the Mortalitasi and the Mourn Watch specifically, and of course the Grand Necropolis. And it sounds like, so I guess I'll just read the description here real quick before we get into that. The Mourn Watch are an order within the Mortalitasi. The Mourn Watch serve as the elite guardians and keepers of the necropolis and its sacred repository of the dead. They also deal with magic that has gone awry, especially as related to Navarran funerary rites and corpse possession. The Mourn Watchers have absolute authority over funerary dead. Is funerary a word? I've never heard of that before. Anyway, I looked up some kind of references for Navarra, and the aesthetic seems to be very like Middle Eastern, that kind of thing, but the funerary rites tend to focus on, well, the dead of Navarra are not buried or burned like in a lot of other places of Thetis. Here they are mummified, and obviously our real life reference for mummification stems heavily from Egyptian culture and the pyramids and the pharaohs and things like that. So I think I'm gonna take a little bit of liberty here, because I've never tried to build a pyramid in The Sims 4, and that'd be really fun. So I'm gonna do that. I don't know that this is actually something that they would have in Navarra, but some of the reference imagery looked a lot like sarcophagi you would see in pictures of Egyptian archaeological digs and things like that. So I have decided I'm going pyramid, whether or not that is accurate to Navarra, just simply because I think it would be fun. So let's start with trying to do that. My thought before even starting is that it's going to be if I can build roof pieces coming off of the actual walls to make it look like it's a pyramid when it's really just a regular shaped house. I need to make this square though. How many dots is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's a square. Now for the hard part. So roofing wise, so first we'll start with the top roof. So then for the sides, I'm gonna try using these pieces. The only thing at this point now becomes, how do we do the corners of the pyramid? We're getting somewhere. And we have a pyramid. So if you hold Alt, you can more exactly move without going like grid by grid. So the outside, we just need to somehow make look not like it is made of shingles. So we got this. Oh, I think that's gonna be the winner. I do want to drag the eaves out to hit the floor. Somehow this fit perfectly next to the Veil Jumpers camp. Hopefully I can match the roof to this. Obviously there's Batu, but that's not what I want. Where did I get that one from? Not So Drab Slab. Does the Not So Drab Slab come with a wall paint to match? Probably too much to ask for. See, like texture wise, that's almost exact match, but the color is not. Explain yourself, The Sims. Oh, there we go. Did it. Is there a floor piece that matches? All right, everyone. If you need 3 colors that match for your pyramids, you've got Not So Drab Slab for your roof, you've got a concrete idea for your walls, and you've got compressed earth for your floors. Let's just search death. A shark slide. That is not what I meant. That's an interesting little thing. Whatever this is. I feel like my goal is to make this very like glowy and magical, but also death themed. Do they have all of the chess pieces? I see the knight here. Really? They literally only have the pawns and the knight. Why would you not have the rest of the chess pieces? This would have been perfect. We're just brainstorming at this point. They have little ghosts and they hold hands. Now why is the Sims Plumb Bob like perfect for this? That's ooky spooky, right? Door, door, door. I feel like we need some kind of pyramid topper that also needs to glow. It's like a little scarab crown. I was thinking about having like a candle-lined path up to the door, but these little stones are cool too. I feel like with death magic being really prevalent around this area, a lot of the living things might be dead or dying. So I'm gonna go over all the grass with some dirt. With this in mind, I feel like the walls of the pyramid itself darker. Like, yeah, this is more accurate pyramid color, but like, we're talking about the Mourn watch there. I feel like that gives more Mourn watch colors. As far as approaching, there needs to be some kind of path. Not sure if this looks spooky or not. Just troubleshooting at this point. Alright, so I think I'm pretty much done with the outside. This is what it looks like during the day, and then we switch to nighttime, and it's ooky spooky and glowy. I didn't put any like gravestones or tombstones out here, because I feel like since it is a mausoleum, they would all be inside. Do think we need a basement. And of course, it's doing that stupid freaking thing where it lifts your whole house. Just need to go in here and lower it. Alright, I think in here they'd have nicer walls. I feel like these need to be built in more. Do my favorite thing, platforms. Excuse me? For some reason, building in The Sims is all about random shit happening when you do something completely unrelated. So right now, I'm trying to delete the wall from the section of the room that I raised the platform on. When I delete that wall, another wall appears over here where the roof is, and that I can't delete. So I guess I have to build half walls instead of deleting the walls to fix this problem. Hopefully building the half wall, it doesn't cause the same problem. Yep, it fucking happened again. Oh my god. Why does this happen? Why is The Sims so difficult all the time? Maybe I can fake it. Maybe I can build them built in without actually being built in. Managed to somehow DIY some kind of platform. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. They need some kind of like curtains behind them. So like, I'm not an expert on mausoleums or sarcophagi or the process of mummification, and I can't be bothered to go look it all up. So I'm just gonna assume that, I mean, from what I know, it requires a lack of oxygen to wherever the body is to aid in the mummification process. And is it the sarcophagi that does that, or was it like, were the whole room that they were stored in being deprived of oxygen? Because I feel like when you're doing mummification, obviously people aren't visiting the gravesite to like pay respects and stuff, because, you know, they were like locked inside of pyramids. But I feel like if in this culture, if this fictional culture, things might be different. So I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that the lack of oxygen to the body comes from the sarcophagus and not from the whole room being deprived of oxygen, so that you can still visit the place where the person is entombed, which is where the direction I'm going with in this build. Like, these little pedestals in front of each one would be like where people would leave flowers and stuff for their loved ones that are buried here. That's what I'm going with for now. If that's not the case, don't yell at me. Cool, just getting that disclaimer out of the way. We're just gonna pretend like this is like just one small part of the Grand Necropolis, and like this pyramid only has 4 tombs in it, or maybe more if I put some in the basement. So it's overseen by one caretaker who lives in the basement. Obviously, I know the Grand Necropolis would be much larger than this, and has a whole team, aka the faction called the Mourn Watch, looking over it. So suspension of disbelief, as you have had to do with all of these builds. feel like this front room would just be like one of those places where you go to light candles and think about the dead, even though you're not in front of them. All right, so down here, I feel like it's just gonna be where the caretaker of this place resides. So I'm just gonna make a Mourn Watch themed bedroom. That's Manfred, because we're just gonna go with it being Emmerich that lives here. Ooh, I think we have a winner. I don't know why I feel like the Mourn Watch are the fancy ones. They just feel like they are. Oh, perfect match. What kind of art would a necromancer have? Skeleton, perhaps? I love how I'm giving the Mourn Watch like the most living space of all of them. Everybody else got like a bunk bed, maybe a bathroom if they were lucky. Mourn Watch, full room for their bathroom and kitchen. I don't know why. It's just how the mood struck me. This almost feels like a vampire's den. Maybe it is. Who knows? Alright, fancy dining table, Ooh. Bathroom time. And in this bathroom will be things you actually need, unlike all the other houses that I have built so far. I don't even think I gave the veil jumpers a pea bush. You'd think that over time I would have gotten better at all of that, but I think I actually just got worse. Dark, eerie porcelain throne. It even has green water. This person is fancy, so they're gonna have a bathtub and sink. I need to like drape this tub. Alright, just need to add some things in the kitchen, then I think we will be pretty much done. Alright, what kind of... This is the first time I've had this problem while building all these. What would you put in a kitchen for clutter in this time period? Some incense. Definitely a mortar and pestle. We're gonna pretend this is a jar of strange ingredients. A notebook to write notes about what he's making. A cow plant for experiments. Like he mainly uses his kitchen to experiment things. This looks like the phylacteries from Dragon Age Origins. Like so many of them are like just red and white. Yes, because every spice is red and white. Jar of eyeballs. It's olives, but it's eyeballs now. This might make the stove unusable, but I think it's hilarious. Doing it for the bit. Just add a chair here, and then I think we'll be done. Welcome to our Mourn Watcher mausoleum. I tried to combine what I know about Navarra, the Mourn Watch, plus like give it a little bit of Egyptian flair with the scarabs and the pyramid. But I knew I wanted a lot of glowing elements, so this build is better viewed at night. And here it is. There's a path lined with candles. As you come through these two pillars, you walk down the path. There's a lot of glowing elements like the scarabs glow. The pyramid has those as well. Then you've got these like green things. I don't know what these are. I found flanking everything, and then I put the Sims plumb bob inside of the Realm of Magic orb lamp. But then you head inside. You are first hit with this entryway where I tried to build these little tables where like you would come to honor the dead if they're not like buried here, if their bodies were never recovered, things like that. You can just light one of these candles in the entrance. But then toward the back of this room, you have the actual mummified, entombed individuals. And then in front of each one, I'm not sure if this is how they would actually do this. I kind of merged it with what I know as like practices for this kind of stuff. So there are little places for people to leave stuff for them, like flowers and trinkets and things like that. Each one has a name plaque on it. Just a lot of candles and things like that. And then we can head downstairs. We've got a bedroom here where the caretaker of this mausoleum lives and sleeps. I have some little knickknacks on their nightstand and a little dining area. If you come through this way, it is a kitchen, but I've kind of treated it more like this is their little experimentation center, as if maybe this is Emmerich's bedroom and he's doing his experiments and things like that in here. And then you come across this way into the bathroom, and you've got this nice tub, toilet, and sink combo. The very fancy furniture I never get to use. And that's actually it for this build. That is my Mourn Watch build, inspired by the Mourn Watch faction of Dragon Age the Veilguard. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and this was my final build in this series. My next video will actually be me playing Dragon Age the Veilguard. I'm going to do kind of a first impressions like review of what I play video plus some footage of me just playing the game. I definitely want to focus a lot on character creation in this first one. I do usually spend a lot of time in there, so hopefully I can get to show it off for anyone who hasn't decided whether or not they want to buy the game or not and give some kind of honest critiques. So far we haven't been able to see too much of the game other than from what the people who were paid to go to BioWare to play it. So hopefully this will be hopefully I'll be able to find and share some information that hasn't been shared yet to help people make their decisions on whether or not they want to play the game. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week for Dragon Age the Veilguard. And if you liked what you see or you want to see more, please like and subscribe. I'm a very small channel just looking to grow. It would be greatly appreciated. Thanks. See you next week.